Hi, my name is Tom, and I'm excited to welcome you once again to this platform where I share on thoughts about leadership. I usually follow an approach that I call 3-2-1 take action. And basically what that means is I share 3 questions or 3 thoughts, 2 tips or techniques that you can learn to answer those questions, and 1 specific action step that you can take to move you forward along your leadership journey. Today, I'm going to be talking about 3 things that you need to know about leadership. Let's get right in. The first thing you need to know about leadership is influence. I love the way John Maxwell breaks it down very simply by saying leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. When we say leadership is influence, what we simply mean is that the ability to get somebody else to do something is what leadership is about. It's not about a position, it's not about knowing everything, it's just about being able to influence somebody else. The second thing about leadership is service. When I say service, I simply mean the ability to help somebody move forward from wherever they are right now to where they need to be, helping them along that journey, giving a helping hand, assisting them in whatever way that you can. When you do that, that in itself is leadership. But I want to give you a third definition right now that I think summarizes this two and expands it a bit more. I believe that leadership is knowing what to do, doing it so that you can influence and serve others. I'll say that again for emphasis. Leadership is knowing what to do and doing it so that you can influence and serve others. When we look at that wholesome definition of leadership, it brings it out in context for us that leadership, there is a knowledge element involved in leadership. There is an action element involved in leadership that you begin to do personally, first of all, so that you can then begin to earn that credibility to begin to influence others and serve others as well. Now, those are my 3 thoughts. Now, let me give you 2 tips around this that you can begin to apply. The first is about learning. I believe that for anyone to grow in leadership, they need to really give thought to how they learn. Because leadership is a life skill, and I believe it's a skill that you will keep learning for the rest of your life. Pretty much how you learn becomes a critical part of that learning journey. For some of us, we learn best by reading. Some of us learn best by listening. Others actually learn best by watching others. And maybe some of us learn best by actually doing it ourselves. And I guess for majority of us, it's probably a combination of these 4 ways of learning: reading, listening, observing others, or doing it yourself. When it comes to leadership, you cannot escape any of these 4 methods of learning, whether it's by reading on concepts on leadership or reading about what others have done on leadership, or listening to some good books, audio books on leadership, observing leadership within your organization, your business, or wherever you find yourself, and then eventually, of course, getting your hands in there and applying those leadership skills, because sometimes we learn best when we do. Now, these 4 methods of learning need to come into your own sphere of learning when it comes to the subject of leadership. That's my first thought on tip to you for learning on leadership. The second is just that very 4th point. Leadership is action. Now, when it comes to, when I say leadership is action, what I simply mean is that beyond all those ways of learning that I've talked about, applying that knowledge on a consistent basis is actually how you begin to hone your leadership skills and then emerge to your own better version of leadership for you. I'm a strong proponent of learning from other people, observing how other people lead and how they advance along their journeys. But I will tell you that the best way to become a good leader is by becoming a better version of yourself when it comes to leadership. So applying those tips on a regular basis, applying what you're learning on a regular basis, observing how you're progressing, how you're improving, is all along that journey of growing in leadership. So now I come to my 1 action point for you today. I'd like you to find out what it is you're lacking when it comes to leadership. I believe to say you know everything there is to know about leadership is probably showing that you don't know enough. Because the more you know, the more you probably would realize, like myself, that there is so much more that you need to know. So find out what else you need to know about leadership that you don't know right now. Find it out quickly so you can begin to learn it. Apply those 4 methods of learning I talked about and begin to apply them so that you can see how you then develop your own version of those skills and apply them in an authentic way that can make you a better leader for the people that are around you. Remember, it's not the knowledge that you acquire that makes a difference. it's the knowledge that you apply. So don't forget to take action. Bye for now.